Now, this is a nice surprise. I mean, maybe not surprise since there were a lot of trailers for it and it looked good and I was looking forward to it, but still not bad for the end of August. Okay, so class consciousness is a big buzzword right now because it looks like there's probably going to be a recession. We're going to do an election next year, and I don't know, I guess the coin landed tails up this time. And plus, Hollywood loves class conflict as a story theme because it's a safe space where white people get to feel like they've been the victims of something. But in more immediate terms, it means we're going to be getting a bunch of these decadent rich movies where the bad guys are opulently wealthy creepazoids doing bad shit to people for kicks because that's the popular art's preferred way of getting in on this particular zeitgeist, while also still getting to have fun with those aforementioned trappings of wealth and opulence. See also the 1980s. Now, this trend was supposed to start a few weeks ago with The Hunt, but the president got mad at the television, and that made the movie go away because we live in a goddamn cartoon now. So instead, the trend now kicks off with Ready or Not, a new satirical horror comedy that smashes Clue, You're Next, and The Most Dangerous Game with a dusting of 70s style cult weirdness all together into actually a pretty damn great B movie that makes a wholly fitting climax to summer 2019. The premise: Samara Weaving is a young woman from a working class background who's about to marry into an obscenely wealthy family of obnoxious aristocrats who got their obscene wealth from owning and operating a long successful board and card gaming empire. On the wedding night, she discovers that her suspiciously nervous new husband, as part of an eccentric family tradition, she'll be asked to draw a card from a mysterious box connected to the questionable origins of the family founder in order to determine which classic old-timey game she and they will play to induct her into the official bloodline. I mean, okay, seems weird, but whatever. Unfortunately, she draws hide and seek, which according to the part of the tradition they did not tell her about, means that not only does she have to hide, but they now have to hunt her down for real using lethal weapons and old school tracking tactics to kill her before sunrise as part of a satanic sacrificial ritual which they have all been raised for generations to believe is the source of the family's success and will lead to their deaths if it is not carried out successfully. The house is a maze of secret passages on secure lockdown. The husband, kind of a wiener, but he thinks the whole thing is dumb bullshit and he's trying to help her survive and escape. The rest of the family, well, some are committed, some also think it's bullshit but will kill to stay on the gravy train, but all of them are actually kind of dumb, spoiled, whiny, ineffectual blue bloods who barely ever touched any of the weapons, panic constantly, and really kind of suck at the whole hunting a human thing, even before she knows to actually be afraid of them. So it's not so much a send-up of the genre as it is an acknowledgement that this scenario would, while terrifying, also be kind of absurdly hilarious at any point you could pull back and look at it from the outside. And also that today the wealthy are not exactly as innately terrifying and commanding of respect as they once may have been.
I just saw her running.
Oh my God! God damn it! Emily!
I don't know what I'm doing!
A sense that the film ratchets up even further by playing it very coy as to how explicitly these people's belief system is actually going to turn out to be and whether or not we're supposed to think anything actually demonic is going on. Now there's some genuine suspense, great fight scenes, really cool set pieces, great gore gags, and as you want with stuff like this, the whole thing is decorated, dressed, directed, and shot way better than it really needed to be under these circumstances. And the cast of villains are all great at working the you know my personality the minute I show up in costume characterization to the hilt. To the extent that the most pathetic of them you almost feel a little bit bad for because they're just so stunningly in over their heads in just the fullness of their lives. But really it's Weaving's show and it's all about her. She's a monster talent with the ability to embody the part of the bewildered prey, competent action heroine, and frustrated, had it up to here, slapstick comedy straight woman in the same movie, sometimes in the same scene, and effectively carry the tone of the whole film, like letting the audience know it's okay to be in on the joke by stopping to notice that even she thinks her mid-movie bloody wedding gown, shotgun, bandolier of shells getup is quite a look. Now, none of that effusive praise is to say that Ready or Not is some kind of game-changing work of any spectacular depth. It's not. It's a B-movie with a just-for-fun riff on a premise that's not a minute longer than it needs to be and only really wants to entertain you. And on those grounds, it seriously delivers. I give it a 7 out of 10, and I recommend it.